from the heart of Delta State. You are tuned in to Srtv Asaba.
Good morning and welcome to Srtv Morning News, reaching you live from our studios in Asaba, Delta State. It's Wednesday the 12th and I'm Obama Gabriel Joy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning as we bring you the major stories making headlines across Nigeria and beyond. Senator Francis Fadaunsi says his controversial Hill Accord comment was a call to defeat the party with votes, not violence, ahead of Saturday's Osun governorship election. The Police Service Commission deployed a delegation to Osun State, warning officers on election duty against compromising the credibility of the poll. Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowori charges the new Army General Officer commanding Major General Everest Okoro to strengthen security across the Niger Delta. Lagos retirees threaten a mass protest over delays in the implementation of a proposed pension increase. The National Civil Aviation Authority orders the arrest and prosecution of an Air Peace driver accused of blocking a Lagos airport runway during a workers' picketing exercise. And a 12-year-old girl in Benue State suffers permanent finger deformity after she was allegedly punished over a 500 naira theft accusation. In business, Treasury bill yields ease as investors target the Central Bank of Nigeria's 700 billion naira auction. And in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation apologizes to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Nigerians over the Super Falcons World Cup qualification setback. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. We begin in Osun State, where the controversy surrounding the August 15 governorship election continues to generate reactions. Senator Francis Fadaunsi, representing Osun East Senatorial District, has clarified his viral Hill Accord comment, saying he was referring to defeat the Accord party through votes and not through violence. Fadaunsi was seen in a video speaking in Yoruba and urging APC supporters in Ilesa to attack members of the Accord party. But in a statement issued by his media office, the senator said the comment was purely political and metaphorical. He maintained that his intention was to encourage APC supporters to overwhelmingly reject the Accord Party at the ballot box through lawful and democratic means. Fadaunsi also urged political actors and voters to maintain peace before, during, and after the election. He called on security agencies to remain professional and ensure that eligible voters are able to exercise their constitutional rights without intimidation. Meanwhile, the campaign council of the governor, Ademola Adeleke, has called on the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, to investigate the senator's comment and take appropriate action. In another development, the Police Service Commission has deployed a delegation to Osun State to oversee the conduct of police personnel during Saturday's governorship election. The delegation is led by retired Deputy Inspector General of Police, Taiwo Lakanu, who is also the chairman of the Commission's Standing Committee on Police Matters. The PSC says the delegation will monitor officers deployed for the election and ensure compliance with guidelines governing election duties. The Commission has directed officers to remain apolitical, professional, and disciplined while protecting the rights of citizens to vote freely and peacefully. It also warned that any police officer found compromising the credibility of the election would be sanctioned. About 15,000 police officers have already been deployed for the election. 14 political parties are expected to participate in Saturday's poll. Moving on to Delta State, the governor, Sharif Oborowori, has charged the newly appointed GOC 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Everest Okoro, to strengthen security operations across the Niger Delta. The governor gave the charge when Okoro, who is also the land component commander of Operation Delta Safe, paid a courtesy visit to him at the government house in Asaba. Oborowori said security in the Niger Delta was essential to economic growth, particularly because Delta State is one of Nigeria's major oil-producing states. He stressed the need to protect oil and gas facilities, waterways, businesses, and other critical infrastructure. The governor also assured the Army and other security agencies of his administration's continued support. Responding, Major General Okoro said protecting critical national assets and defeating emerging security threats would remain priorities under his command. He also emphasized the importance of credible intelligence, realistic training, and effective coordination among security agencies. Away from the political scene, the National Civil Aviation Authority has ordered the arrest and prosecution of an Air Peace driver over an alleged runway blockade at the Lagos airport. The incident occurred during a picketing exercise by aviation workers, the unions actually, against Air Peace and other airlines over grievances, including the alleged non-remittance of the 5% ticket sales charge and concerns over workers' unionization. According to the NCAA, the alleged driver drove a large bus onto the airside and left it there during the picketing exercise. The authorities say the vehicle had to be towed away by the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria to allow movement within the airside. The NCAA spokesperson, Michael Achimobu, said the driver must be identified and arrested. The prosecution describing the alleged action as unacceptable. However, Air Peace has rejected the allegation that the vehicle blocked the runway. In a related development, the Enugu State Police Command has arrested a 26-year-old suspected armed robber and recovered a locally made pistol and live cartridge. The suspect, Chukwebe Agbo, was arrested in Obolo Etiti of Udenu local government area following information provided by a concerned resident. Police said the suspect was found at a hotel where he had gone to secure accommodation. A search of his bag reportedly led to the recovery of the firearm. The police further alleged that Agbo confessed during preliminary interrogation to being a member of an armed robbery syndicate that targeted point of sale operator, that's a POS merchant. Investigation is ongoing as the police work to apprehend other members of the alleged gang. Still on security, the Anambra State Police Command says it has arrested 2 suspected drug dealers in Obosi, Idemili North local government area. Police said substances suspected to be cannabis sativa, methamphetamine, and other illicit drugs valued at about 6.2 million naira, as well as 598,400 naira in cash were recovered during the raid. The two suspects, identified as a 47-year-old Nzube Onyedika Chukwu, also known as Onyoma, and a 20-year-old Ugochukwu Azea, were arrested during the operation. The police said some other suspects fled after sighting the operatives. Investigation is continuing to establish the source and distribution network of the suspected illicit drugs. Moving to Benue State, a 12-year-old girl has suffered severe burns and permanent deformity to her index finger after she was allegedly punished over an accusation that she stole 500 naira. A doctor at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Totivsen, disclosed the incident in a social media post. According to him, the girl had been sent from her village to stay with another family in town. He alleged that the family accused her of stealing the money and burned her fingers as punishment. The doctor said the girl was then forced to continue doing household chores despite the injury and without proper wound care. Neighbors eventually intervened and alerted the police. The doctor added that the money was later reportedly traced to another member of the family who allegedly confessed to taking it. In Abia State, the police have arrested a woman, Mrs. Sarah Innocent, over the alleged stabbing of her husband, Innocent Nwoji, to death. The incident reportedly occurred around or during a domestic dispute at Umukerekeungwa in Obingwa local government area. Police said the victim was rushed to the hospital where he was confirmed dead. The suspect is currently in police custody while the corpse has been deposited to the morgue for autopsy. The police say investigations are underway. Meanwhile, the Oyo State Road Traffic Management Authority has begun replacing stolen manhole covers with concrete alternatives at strategic locations across Ibadan. The intervention began in the Apata area of the city. The chairman of the OYRTMA, Major Adesagba Adekoya, said open manholes pose serious risks to motorists, pedestrians, Okada riders, and other road users. He said the danger was particularly serious at night and during rainfall. Now, according to him, the concrete covers are expected to provide a more durable solution and reduce the likelihood of vandalism and further theft. Now to business. Treasury bills or the Treasury bill yields have eased as investors increase demand for short-term government securities ahead of the Central Bank of Nigeria's 700 billion naira primary market auction. The average Treasury bill, the yield fell by 3 basis points to 18.09% on Monday. The increased demand comes as investigators respond to easing inflation and attractive returns on government securities. The CBN benchmark interest rate currently stands at 26.50%, while headline inflation has eased to 15.91%. Market participants expect strong demand at Wednesday's auction as investors seek to lock in current yields. Still in the economy, experts say the success of the Nigerian economic reforms will ultimately depend on whether they translate into improved living standards for ordinary citizens. The assessment comes 3 years into major reforms, including the removal of petrol subsidies, foreign exchange reforms, tighter monetary policy, banking sector recapitalization, and tax reforms. Nigeria's economy grew by 3.89% in the first quarter of 2026, while inflation has eased. However, households and business continue to face high food prices, elevated borrowing costs, and weakened purchasing power. Speaking at the Africa Emerging Markets Forum in Abuja, CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso said macroeconomic stability should only serve as a foundation for investment, productivity, and job creation. He also called for stronger regional trade, greater domestic investment, and increased African participation in technology and artificial intelligence. Away from the economy, presidential candidate of the Nigeria Democratic Congress, Peter Obi, has warned against accepting unverified academic credentials in leadership. Obi said the issue should not be treated as a matter of political loyalty, but as one of standards and accountability. He warned that abandoning proper credential verification could create dangerous precedents and weaken national institutions. According to him, standards and accountability must apply equally to everyone, regardless of political affiliation. His comments follow the release by the Independent National Electoral Commission of the names and credentials of presidential and vice presidential candidates ahead of the 2027 general election. In Lagos State, Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat has attributed the worsening waste situation in the state to increased waste generation, a shortage of functional collection trucks, and challenges facing private waste operators. Hamzat said Lagos initially estimated daily waste generation at about 13,000 tons and later discovered that the figure was closer to 17,000 tons. He said that the state has about 420 private sector waste operators, but many no longer have the required number of functional trucks. The rising cost of diesel has also affected the operations of some private waste collectors. Hamzat said the state government has ordered additional trucks to strengthen waste collection, although delivery has been delayed until September. He said that the government is working to address the challenges and improve refuse collection across the state. In another development still in Lagos, retirees under the contributory pension scheme has threatened to stage a mass protest on August 31st if the state government fails to implement a proposed pension increase. The retirees under the Lagos State Council of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners have given the government until August 19 to credit their pension accounts. They say the proposed adjustment has been delayed despite several meetings and interventions involving government officials. The pensioners say the delay is taking a toll on retirees who depend on their monthly payments. But the Lagos state government says there is no deliberate withholding of the benefit. The government explained that an independent actuary has been engaged to determine the state's financial liability and that data from pension fund administrators is being reviewed. It also said pensioners under the defined benefit scheme are already receiving the enhanced pensions. On the international scene, the United Kingdom has raised concerns over the impact of escalating violence in the West Bank, particularly on Palestinian children. Speaking at the United Nations, the UK said children were being exposed to repeated violence, displacement, and disruptions to education. Britain also condemned attacks by Israeli settlers on Palestinian communities and called for stronger action against perpetrators. On Gaza, the UK called for safe, sustained, and unhindered humanitarian access. It also maintained that the two-state solution remains the most credible path to lasting peace and security. The UK further called for respect for international law and expressed opposition to the expansion of Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. And now we move on to sports. The Nigerian Football Federation has apologized to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Nigerians following the Super Falcons' failure to secure direct qualification for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. The NFF president, Ibrahim Gusau, said the federation recognized the disappointment among Nigerians following the team's setback at the ongoing Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. He, however, said the Super Falcons will have an opportunity to qualify through the CAF playoff pathway. Gusau promised that the federation would conduct an assessment of the team's preparation via technical planning, logistics, and overall operations. He said the NFF remains committed to securing Nigeria's place at the 2027 World Cup. Meanwhile, Paris Saint-Germain coach Luis Enrique says the European champions are determined to win every available trophy this season. PSG, who secured their second consecutive Champions League title last season, will face Europa League winners Aston Villa in the UEFA Super Cup. Luis Enrique says his players must demonstrate their quality on the pitch as they begin another campaign with high expectations. PSG won the Super Cup last year after defeating Tottenham on penalties. And also in sports/entertainment, football superstar Cristiano Ronaldo has taken a major step off the pitch as he married his longtime partner, Georgina Rodriguez, after nearly a decade together. The couple tied the knot in a private civil ceremony in Cascais, Portugal, on Tuesday. Ronaldo and Rodriguez began their relationship in 2016 and got engaged in 2025, August. The couple, who have two daughters together, had kept details of their wedding largely private. The 41-year-old Portuguese football icon is widely regarded as one of the greatest players in football history and recently represented Portugal at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The wedding marks a new chapter in the couple's nearly 10-year relationship. And now we move to entertainment properly. Nollywood actor Lateef Adedimeji has opened up about the public scrutiny and mockery he and his wife, actress Mo Bimpe, faced before welcoming their triplet sons. In a social media post, the actor said the couple chose silence instead of responding to rumors and criticism. He described the birth of their three boys as a testimony and said the experience reinforced his belief in patience and faith. In another development, veteran actress Patience Ozokwo has explained why she frequently portrays witches and villains in Nollywood films. The actress, popularly known as Mama G, said such roles gives her opportunities to expose wrongdoings and show audiences the consequences of bad behavior. Ozokwo says she dislikes injustice, war, and rancor and believes her roles can help audiences understand the consequences of their actions. Finally, in the world of music, Spotify says it will introduce a new AI persona badge to identify profiles featuring AI generated performers. The streaming platform says the move is aimed at giving listeners greater transparency as artificial intelligence generated music becomes increasingly common. Spotify also says that AI personas will not be included in editorial or personalized recommendations unless a user follows an AI persona. Before we go, here's the weather briefing for today, Wednesday the 12th, according to NIMET. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency says patches of cloud are expected across the northern states this morning, with thunderstorms and moderate rainfall over parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, and Kano states. By the afternoon and evening, thunderstorms with moderate rainfall are expected over parts of Kaduna, Katsina, Kano, Kebbi, Zamfara, Sokoto, Yobe, Bauchi, Borno, Adamawa, and Taraba states. Moving to the north central region, cloud patches are expected with thunderstorms and light rainfall over parts of Nasarawa, Benue, Kogi, and the Federal Capital Territory. Meanwhile, across the southern states, cloudy conditions with chances of light rainfall are expected over parts of Ondo, the south, and the southeast this morning. In the afternoon and evening, moderate to heavy rainfall is expected over parts of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, while other parts of the southern region may experience light to moderate rainfall. NIMET advises residents in low-lying and flood-prone areas to remain alert to possible localized flooding. Motorists are also advised to exercise caution during rainfall and avoid driving through flooded roads or areas with rapidly flowing water. And with thunderstorms, strong winds, lightning, and reduced visibility may occur. So airline operators are advised to obtain updated weather information from NIMET for safe operation. And that wraps it up for today's SRTV Morning News. Thank you for staying with us. Coming up at 10 a.m. is State of the Nation with Daddy Chris. Do stay tuned. I'm Obawa Gabriel Joy. Have a great Wednesday. Good morning.